Is it possible that certain ideologies have holes in them? Also, that certain ideologies are better than others. Martin Luther King and Hamas cannot both be considered correct. We actually want to close this to godliness. We all want that. But some people have been taught that godliness is X or godliness is Y. We also have a small group of Jews that have a horrific ideology that would not allow both of us to speak and be who we are today. And that's Qumrah on Qumrah on Qumrah. It's not even Judaism anymore. We have Jews standing with Muslims in the street saying, yeah, all death to Israel. It's crazy. So we have to get really clear on what our ideology is. And the only way to start doing that is by sitting together and figuring it out without guns. Don't think I'm a moron. Like, I believe in
protection. I do not think you're a moron.
I know. If someone's causing harm, God forbid, or rape or havoc, discrimination against women, or doesn't allow for free speech except for a tyrant who, like the IRGC, that's no. That's punishable.
You believe that everybody fundamentally wants to get closer to God.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah. It's the unexplainable goodness.
But we see such horrific acts.
We do. We see
monsters
right.
that are infiltrated for life.
Right, they're indoctrinated, but that's why we have to get ahead of this now. We don't have the luxury anymore of being like, oh, we'll just bomb them. We actually have to get in from the ground floor and
I
start
don't think we have that option. They're not going to let us into the ground
So we're talking
floor.
about the same thing, but we still have to figure out a way that at some point we're going to have a conversation with people and talk about ideology and change it. And I also believe in pluralism. I think you can have Christians, Muslims, and Jews who all have a core belief system that's very similar that could allow for peace. I mean, Hashem would have made everyone Jewish in the Talmud, and he didn't. He says that there are many pathways to truth.
But I think the only difference is that you think that you can sit down with people who have a totally nihilistic lack of Western values and make them see them and understand them and appreciate them. I don't think you can. I would love to be wrong. I want you to understand that.
Right.
I don't want to be right.
Right. And I love that about you. And I don't know exactly, I have to flesh it out more because I don't know if I could sit down with a terrorist right now in this moment and just assume that it's going to be fine. But I'm saying at least the supporters of that. We have to figure out what we're doing and who's silencing those who are criticizing them.
But the question is, if people in the West support murderers and savages who cut off women's breasts and burn babies alive, what kind of common ground do we have ethically, morally with people like that?
Not only that, but I met with somebody yesterday who told me that it doesn't even exist, that October 7th was all a lie.
So God forbid. So because that way you don't have to face it.
People who say, but of course they're going to pull off their breasts because of what Israel's doing to them. And we know that they've been teaching this ideology way before even Israel became a nation again. It's not even about Israel. Why didn't the Sri Lankans wind up killing and naming and raping out of resistance the people who tortured them for so many years? Why didn't the Jews who came from Israel and all these other places that were kicked out of Israel, of 1 million Jews kicked out of Syria and all these other places, why didn't we start killing and maiming and raping out of resistance when we were killed and maimed and raped all these people? Because we don't do that. We're not taught to do that. We move on and we try to build up nations to be pluralistic. And why is it that all these Muslims are going to Christian nations if their nations are so great? Why do they keep coming to America?
Because in America they have the opportunity to spread their beliefs and to undermine the
UK.
system of the West.